Good evenings of RPG Limit Break, and welcome to the Final Fantasy Randomizer Winter Dab Tournament 2021, our inaugural tournament for this format of playing Final Fantasy Randomizer. I am your host, Darkmoon EX, joined in the booth by Wout, with Chanigan behind the scenes doing our tracking. Wout, how is it going over there this fine evening?
It's going fine, having a little bit of internet glitchiness, so I'll apologize in advance if I robot during commentary, but we've got a pretty interesting card today, and some very interesting class configurations. So how about I go ahead and get the gate lifted for our runners, and we can talk a little bit about their class choices while we are waiting for time to catch up to us.
Sure. Well, Oh, thank you for the crowd reminding me to turn on the poker chips again so we can see who and what we need to do. So what we have here, of course, is both party members, or both players, have taken a black belt since the board didn't force them to do otherwise. The interesting thing about these flags is that they are very black belt friendly, shuffled grind tiles with very little that you have to worry about checking in the way of chests, because there's less location, or less items than there are locations to check. So black belts do really well here, while we see Ruse at level 1, and Fire 2, at least that's a sweeper, here at level 1 for black. It's interesting to note that DVS took a thief instead of a white mage that fryteeth took. The thieves have white mage magic. So unless something that they desperately want is lurking at level 7 or 8, that thief should be good for most of what we're looking for right now.
And that white mage magic, that includes the white mage's spell slots then?
Yes. They will have the spells and spell growth of a white mage. So why take a white mage when you can have a white mage plus running and the ability to actually hit things?
And it's especially important in this particular seed because black mages rolled a luck penalty. So the black mage, second best runner in the game. Not the case this time.
No. Now, one thing to note is there is the tile of Garland boxing up here on the board right now. I would be surprised if we see them go and take out Garland immediately, simply because of the fact that if they actually want to punch him down and get one of those rows that's tied to that, you know, row 2, call 2, diagonal across, then they'll want to actually punch Garland to death instead of actually using a spell or a weapon on him. It is required that you literally punch him until he falls down. So, you see DVS going for imps right here. Could see them go to the pirates, maybe 2 for levels. Your thoughts, Wout?
I don't hate it. So looking at the situation as it stands, DVS, I'm already kind of thinking he might go for a column 2 play with the Garland boxing. That forced row 3, the worst thing in column 2 is in row 3. So as long as he doesn't mind dealing with the cursed armor element, that's column 2's not a bad column, but he already has to do.
I mean,
so
you got a black belt, you don't care about armor anyway. Yeah.
So, we're going to see here in a moment if fryteeth intends to have anything to do with column 3.
So something...
DVS, has to.
Yeah. Some things to point out, we have Lightning 2 and Fast at the black magic. I missed what the white magic is, but I'm sure they'll check it again if it's important. The other thing is, apparently we have Sayhags with Zap on the open sea. That's not fun. Zap isn't a great spell when you're trying to use it against enemies, but it's surprising how effective Zap is against you.
We've got a wall spell at level 2 white magic, according to our tracker.
Very nice.
And Cure 2 and Harm 3 and Soft. So, really the wall and the Harm 3, and maybe the Soft if you're a little bit cash poor, but I've yet to see any of these races have players cash poor.
And Monsieur BK, the French pirate, did give us the crown.
And fryteeth is... Did fryteeth... Yeah, he didn't talk to the king, I guess, because he does not have a boat.
Well, I mean, I could see not, because if you go in and talk to him and then come back, and he doesn't have anything that's immediately valuable, you've wasted time walking up and talking to him when you're going to go and kill Garland eventually and get the items from that location anyway. I can see it.
Yeah, but the flip side to it is, if, you know, you talk to the king, you're not losing time later, because when you talk to Sarah, she's automatically going to warp you to the throne, and you're still going to have to walk out anyway.
Yeah, it's a few extra steps you're taking, but it's not, like, horrible, and I can see why fryteeth did it, and I can see why DVS did it. I get both of them. In this particular instance, it did help DVS, though, by grace of the fact that, you know, he got the ship and could sail around while fryteeth was still walking.
Yeah. So fryteeth, it looks like, is taking the route of buffing up his Garland Puncher.
Oh yeah, the other thing to point out is that the Black Belt has level 1 white spells. I believe that gets them these spells and 2 charges. Total.
Yeah.
So
that ruse,
yes,
very handy.
Ruse landing there means he's got 2 shots that he can use later on when he's at Topher, and that's nothing you'd complain about. So we got a question in chat about what the enemy and boss scaling is at, and I'll be honest with you, I can't remember.
I've got it pulled up.
Thank you.
1 second. Alright. So enemy scaling is 50% to 200%. Boss scaling is also 50% to 200%, but HP is clamped at 1 to 200. So...
got
pretty bog standard flags for Final Fantasy Randomizer as far as scaling goes. Nothing too terrifying, but still entertaining.
It took DVS a little while to take down that pirate fight, because I'm pretty sure he was just meleeing everyone instead of using spells.
Well, he had to. Row 3, column 4.
Hey, look at that! Melee the pirates. Okay, that was a good call on fryteeth's part to slow down DVS, and I didn't even notice.
Yeah, no, like, I think of the two of them, fryteeth definitely played the stronger line forced on his opponent.
It's interesting. Well, here's a thought. I get what you're saying. The thing I'm curious about is the fact that fryteeth decided not to melee the pirates. Like, I understand when you're late in the game, starting to pick and choose what lines you go for and, like, dealing with it then. But when you're this early in the game, at least for me, I really hate letting go of a tile I don't need to. And that feels like an unforced let go, you know?
I mean, it's one of those things, I think he's already got his line in mind. I'm not sure which it is yet, but the fact that he went through the trouble of boxing Garland suggests that, bare minimum, he's already ruled out column 4. Like, we can safely say he's ruled out row 3 because he's making his opponent do that.
I mean, yes.
I see no reason for him to go for column 4 over other options. It doesn't synergize with anything he's got to do, and it takes away some options that he might want. Mostly exit.
I don't know. I guess I just hate letting go of a tile before I need to let it go, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, if you're reasonably confident you can clear a line...
Yeah.
So, yeah, Reese Wolf in chat suggesting that fryteeth is going for row 2, which, yeah, the only thing in there that I can see potentially being a no-go on that is the Baning Tiamat. Because the thing about row 5, column 1, that talk to 3 robots in Mirage/Sky, you don't actually have to go to Sky. There are 3 robots in Mirage Tower, so...
If you know where they are.
Well, yeah, there's the one is at the north end of Mirage 1 is by the stairs in Mirage 2, and the last one is behind the Cuba warp on Mirage 3. Like, the only one you don't see in any given run that takes you up Mirage is that one on Mirage 1. Even then, if you just happen to, remember that there's one there.
And you're not in this tournament because...
Because I'm terrible at this game?
You sound really knowledgeable, though.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm terrible at execution, but I know this game like the back of my hand for some reason. But you know what they say, Dark Moon? Those who can race, and those who can't talk about it.
and lay out snide comments for the people that are doing it wrong.
Well, no, it's just one of those things. The way I see it, my job is to talk about stuff so that,
Okay,
Oh.
we got a question in chat from Gene asking about defeat Kraken 1 is obligatory, isn't it? Or there's some bosses that are optional and some that aren't. If you will notice on the tracker, all of the orbs are lit. So you don't actually have to fight any of the bosses outside of Temple of Fiends if you don't want to. You are already technically ready to go to the Temple of Fiends as soon as you get the loot and the key. However, there are tiles that will tell you otherwise, and there are goals that will tell you otherwise. And you never know what might be lurking behind something that you need to do before you get that loot and key, so yada yada yada.
And by the rules of this tournament, you can't fight Chaos until you've lit your 2 lines. So
Yeah, that was something when we were doing our Iron Gall matches before this, where people asked if you could go do one before the other, and we tested it and we realized that the goals work better if you wait on Chaos until the end.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah. It's one of those things, if fryteeth is aware that he doesn't have to actually go up into the Sky Palace, I can see him trying to find a row that keeps him from having to go all the way to the top of Sky.
Oh, I would. Absolutely would. Like, the problem with Sky is the fact that you need to have an extra key item to get through it in comparison to basically every other dungeon. I mean, you gotta have ship or airship, like you do with most of them, but then you have to have chime and cube. Most of the other ones only require, like, the oxyale, or, just transport that can get you over there in the case of the volcano, or the rod from Earth Cave. So, the cost of entry for them isn't as bad. Getting all the way up to the top of Sky is plenty annoying.
Yeah, now, in this particular seed, we do already have the location of cube and chime known. Astos has the cube, and we got the chime from the blacksmith.
That was a Nastos right there. He had Blizzard and a Death Spell, and he was not playing around.
Yeah, now granted, we know where the cube is, but it's looking like we ain't getting the cube anytime soon.
No, Astos is like, this Rubik's Cube is mine, and no one has taken it from me.
Yeah. So, with that chime, though, fryteeth has everything he needs, except for oxyale to complete his row. His forced row.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he needs a canoe as well, but you're gonna want a canoe anyway. Like, the point being, he at least has one of the more difficult things to hunt down out of the way. So, like I said, it's tricky to figure out where he is going to go from here.
Well, he can go to Marsh, and it's not a problem. He needs Airship, he needs Tail if he's going to finish out Row 1. He needs Cube, and he needs Oxyale if he's going to finish out Row 5. Yeah. Which he has to. So...
Yeah, he needs either the canoe or the airship, because I believe we do have the docks available. Yeah, we do. Okay, so yeah, he needs either the canoe or the airship to buy one of everything at the caravan.
Well, he needs the airship for Bahamut if that's the road he's going to take.
Very true, but...
And that's where he's at. If he ends up with the airship, if he just gets the floater at some point because we have the southern dock on for it, then Bahamut's a no-brainer. Marsh and Bahamut, you just go do those and you can just bang them out, and they have, like, no cost of entry at this point except the time it takes. Life 2 at level 5, that's nice. I need to go see what we had in the way of spells at Elfland, because I totally didn't look at them. What do we get? We got Cure, Fear, Life, Harm 4. Wow, Harm 4 is the only winner there. Harm 2, Invis, Harm, and Fade at level 4, so Fade better than Harm 4. Over at the Black for level 3, we had Lightning 3, Lock 2, very nice. Nuke, and Brack. So, yeah, all the good spells you want are basically sitting at level 4.
Yep. Alright, so let's see here. DVS is on his way over to Crescent Lake to see what the old men have. And fryteeth going ahead and see if he can find himself a grind spot right here in Northwest Castle.
They're far enough in at this point with the level of key items they have right now. It's a good time for a grind if they have one that they can take out quickly, and zombie bees that fall down to, what was it, I think a single fire too? That's a grind you can take right now. Yeah, I'd take that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that is incredibly solid.
Yeah.
And if you're not looking at doing column 3 or row 4,
yeah,
you can easily save up money for houses, go grab those houses, come back here, restock your fire 2s, and you are golden.
Now, he did get some unlucky spell charge rolls right there. He may want to start using, once he gets levels under his belt for those spell casts, he may want to use some of those Harm 4s he has, because that should take out those Harm 4s and Fade should take out the zombie bees, but even still, this seems like a pretty kind grind, all things considered.
Yeah, and this looks like it's the Temple of Fiends version of the Zombie D the Zombie D formation too. So.
Oh yeah, look at that. He's just racking up those levels. Oh well, there goes one black mage. But honestly, right now with where you at in level grind, I wouldn't necessarily complain about that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, DVS taking a poke at some peds, seeing what he can see. And what he sees is they have too much health to bother with.
Does that make him a pede poker?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
it rolls...
get the herb from the sages.
Pede poker just rolls off the tongue. I don't know why. Okay, with the herb, you can see he's already heading off towards Elf Cave. I do that every time now. He's going to Elf Cave, it's fine. So he'll go to...
He's going to Elf Cave.
He's going to Elf Cave, it's fine. Gonna turn in that herb to the Cave Prince and find out what the herb gets us. You get the intent from Elf Cave, it's fine. Everything's a cave in this game. So for those of you that can only use Cursed Armor, that ribbon is kind of nice. Ribbon -5. Like, the stats on it are gross, but the fact that you can use it, what you really want for the ribbon is its MDef protection. So, yeah, I'd take that.
I mean, it's just a ribbon that gives you, like, a, -5 penalty on your evasion stat?
Yeah.
And otherwise is exactly the same as a normal ribbon?
Yeah. Yeah, the weight is heavier on it, so it's like, a titanium ribbon right there, but is otherwise exactly the same.
I can take it.
Serzian asking why the grind was left when DVS was only partway in, or fryteeth, or I've already forgotten who was grinding. fryteeth, I think. The reason just because the fact that, once the levels start tapering off and you're not getting them like it's a payout of a slot machine, you want to back off a little bit on your grind and maybe wait until later when you have more key items under your belt and you know that you're ready for go. He's got the levels right now, I'd say, probably to be able to get through most of the mid-game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the balance you have to strike when you're doing one of these double anti-bingo races is, you want to get those levels for dealing with the end game, but you also have to be, on the move, fulfilling objectives, because if you're not fulfilling your objectives, you're not going to get to the end game.
Yeah. And, the zombie Ds were fine. They're a perfectly acceptable grind right there. But there is a strong possibility they'll find something else further in that's going to be better. Zombie Ds with Whiz Vamps, for example, now that they have more levels that can survive some Whiz Vamp punches. Uh, Third Eye Grind, for example. There's a few tiles out there that are much better than the Zombie Ds, because the Zombie Ds are kind of a mid-level dragon. And if you can find them while you're wandering around, as you can see, fryteeth is now looking around for new tiles to grind on, there's no reason not to.
Oh, hey! We've got some Northern Continent river encounters here in the Hall of Giants.
Oh, see, now
And...
this! Oh, if they weren't hitting for, like, oh god! Those Medusas are swole.
I mean, I don't know if they're swole so much as it's just that fryteeth has no armor.
Well, there's that. But, I mean, wow. For what they were doing, that was some pretty... Like, that was 200 damage on that Black Mage. That Black Mage was dead.
Okay.
I would go, like... I would probably be tempted to try it if it wasn't behind the Gross River tile, but where it's at right now, that's maybe you go back only if you haven't found a better grind tile further in, you know?
I think that the situation where you pull on that is if, say, you get that black belt up to 32, and you decide that you know, like, you get to the Temple of Fiends, it turns out Temple of Fiends is too beefy for a 32 black belt. You don't want to waste time hunting down, like, a better grind you found that's deeper in. You go back there, you let the river encounter murder your mages.
Yup.
And then you take your black belt into the Gurmedusas and use a caster item to wipe them.
Yeah. A Thor hammer or a mage stick or something, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's where you break that Gurmedusa title out. But right now, yeah, you have access to better sources of experience, even if it's literally just taking whatever random encounters you find that give good experience.
So Astos being... Nope, there it is. I was waiting for that. I was going to say Astos being kind, but nope, Astos is... DVS just walks away.
Yeah. Well, see, DVS does have the problem of he has to kill that Astos eventually.
He does. Oh, wow.
He's got to get up to Sky 3 to look at those computers.
Oh, wow. Yeah, the nice thing about Gurmedusas is that they don't tend to have a lot of health at this scaling. The downside is that, you know, even with a black belt who's got some health to him, if they can punch through, which it looked like they were punching pretty good there, second ribbon, very nice, they can still do some damage, and you don't want them to all have their turn before your black mage finally gets to do his thing. Or black belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, I think one of the things you have to take into consideration is fryteeth, I don't think, has any armor on any of his characters, and if he does, obviously it's cursed armor. A black belt, once he gets up in levels, will have neither of those problems.
Yeah.
So it's entirely possible that those Gurmedusas were just intimidating because fryteeth is made of paper.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Level 17 black mage with no armor, heck, even a level 17 black belt with no armor. They are not the beefiest things in the world. There's our chime. Yeah. So with that cube that Astos has, we have full access now to that tower whenever we can finally get rid of that Astos.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is DVS needs that Astos dead, because he now knows he can complete that square. You know, that world's worst IT job square.
Examine all the computers, make sure whether they're turned off or on again. I mean, as soon as he gets some awesome... Huh?
I was gonna say, realize that one of the whiz vamps didn't realize that the monitor is not the computer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why it wasn't turning on.
And it does put other categories or other tiles into potential depending upon what else he decides he wants to do. So, I mean, like, that row 2 requires both of those items, but they also require, like, the Masamune, or the Bane spell, or the Bane sword if you can actually find one. So, yeah.
Now, we do know where Brack and Bane are. At least. Brack being in Elfland and Bane being at Mel.
Yep, so level 4 and level 5 for those. So, kill Kraken with Brack. Is that even on the board? Yeah, there it is. That's row 3.
Yeah.
First slot,
and
row
Quake
3.
is in Crescent.
Yeah.
DVS is 4 tiles.
Yep. So, was Quake learnable for the... Let's go look. Quake is level 6? Slot 4. I can't remember if the Black Mage can learn slot 4.
Yeah.
Okay. So he doesn't have to promote.
I do not remember either.
Well, okay. I thought you said yeah for that. No. We don't know whether or not he's going to have to promote. I'm sure someone in chat can say. DVS about to discover the joys of this area right here. Oh, they're ambushy. Yeah, that's...
Actually... Yeah, never mind.
No. I can especially see why people...
Caleb confirming in chat that...
Okay, Black Mage can learn all level 6. Thank you, Caleb. Wow.
Yeah.
The river tile's actually kind of ambushy, too.
Some of that might be a function of the character stats, but...
Yeah, I can kind of see why at this point people were saying somewhere out there in the ether, Will Cleosis is sweating. Wow, that is some gross tiles there at Earth Cave. Let's not do them. That's hideous.
I think, as of right now, that zombie degrind is probably your best bet. The zombie like, they had enough.
Yeah.
They're fragile. They'll go down pretty easily.
That tile right there is a hot cup of nope. Like, no. Wow. So let's see where else DVS decides to go while fryteeth is doing the herb turn-in and so forth from their side of things, having just gotten that from the Crescent Lake sages. Wandered into their yoga circle, took their herb.
Yeah. So let's see here. So knowing what we know now, so DVS has the tools needed to complete his row outside, complete his forced row outside of the cube from Astos.
Yep.
And that's just a matter of time.
Yep.
So, really at this point, his challenge is he's got to hunt down some worms.
Like, you can find...
The Oxyel and the Rod.
You can find the basic worms in Topher, so I wouldn't worry about that. It's just whether he wants to take the gray worms or the sandworms. That's the real concern. And you can find, if you're patient, you can go find the sandworms over on the desert over by Ryukon. Not Ryukon, Mirage.
So, okay, I think in this situation, if you're thinking of going sandworm hunting, I'd rather sandworm hunt in the Mirage Desert. Although it looks like he's currently hunting in the Onrak Desert.
Are they in this one?
I don't know. But, so, the reason I would say Mirage is because Mirage covers so much real estate on the map, you can arguably save, power cycle, run to a part of the desert, see if your first encounter is a sandworm. If it's not, power cycle, run to a different corner of the desert. Like, you are you can check, like, 4 or 5 or 6 even encounter zones relatively easily in Mirage. So...
Yeah, the Mirage Desert is really nice in that regard because it has 4 different encounter zones that essentially meet right there at the tower. So even if they're too rare to show up in one zone, the other zones can have a better chance of pulling.
Yeah, so it's one of those things, I think if I had to do that tile, I would definitely go sandworm hunting, and then see if maybe I luck into a gray worm while, like, you know, checking armor or something.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you want to go, like... I mean, gray worms show up in Volcano, don't they? Not just on the tile, but loose. Yeah, so...
Yeah, they show up loose. So,
yeah.
honestly, okay, here's a think.
Uh-huh.
you already have that diagonal that intersects with kill 2 different worms that
Yep.
has you go all the way down to carry 1.
Yep.
That's actually a golden opportunity to
Yep.
go gray worm hunting, because I think they're an encounter mostly on, like, the bottom 2 or 3 floors.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta go down to that carry floor anyway. You may as well check it while you're there. And you never know. You might be lucky enough to actually find the gray worms on a shuffled tile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so floaters and ordeals.
Well, that's helpful.
Yeah, so... Fryteeth is almost certainly about to go to get that up and running.
We're gonna nuke our...
Which will make it easy. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Which will make it easy for him to at least get the caravan and robot tiles for himself.
He nuked his green chip nachos, decided they were too beefy and ran away, and then exited out. And so yeah, he's gonna... Didn't want those salsa verde Doritos, and he is gonna go get his hovercraft instead.
I like this plan.
Yeah.
It is a plan that involves boats that fly.
I mean, at this point, he does still need to find the loot. And then, depending upon if he actually... He doesn't need the... See, the thing is, he doesn't need the tail to visit Bahamut. He just needs the airboat. It just says to visit him. It doesn't say you have to class change.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tail is not actually required for Bahamut. So if Fryteeth's intent is to visit Bahamut, what he's worried about right now, really, is the loot.
Well, he also is worried about Oxiel. I don't believe we've seen that yet.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. But that is the other key item he requires, because he's got to go still kill Kraken 1.
Well, and here's the other gator encounter type that we can find. So if you had the kills 3 different types of lizards, you can do gators here as well now, because we've relaxed the rule on that. A little bit of behind the scenes, oh god. Nope! That's don't use fire skills on these guys, they don't care about that.
I don't think that DVS has much else.
He had lightning.
Is lightning actually effective against gators? I thought they were vulnerable to ice.
I mean, it's Lightning 3. Just blast away and hope for the best.
Alright, we got chat saying that we have seen the Oxiel,
Yep,
and we're going to go look at our handy-dandy tracker. Okay, so Matoya had it.
There you go. Matoya from the crystal, which came from...
Earth Incentive. So, okay, so Fryteeth hasn't been to Earth yet.
Trying to read the notes and see where Earth Incentive is.
It's at the ruby chest. Oh, it's under locations, right above,
There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was blind and couldn't read notes. That's on me.
But yeah, so... In addition to Darkmoon having worse eyesight than a one-eyed guy, yeah, so Fryteeth still needs to go to Earth Cave and dip that incentive chest to get his Oxiel to at least be able to clear out that forced row.
So now Fryteeth can come in here. Oh, there's a slab. He can't. Does he not have the money? He doesn't have the money. He can't do the caravan right now because he's priced out of it.
Yeah, that's a problem that tends to solve itself in Final Fantasy I Randomizer. So Fryteeth, once he gets his row done, which we at least know what he needs to do.
He's working on it, yeah.
He could opt to do that diagonal.
As long as he hasn't already used a blessed piece of armor, because if he has, he's locked out of it. Unless you're talking the down to the top to bottom diagonal, not the bottom to top.
I guess I was mistaken. Fryteeth does have the Oxiel.
Yeah, he's got it, because he's here.
Okay. Sometimes it's really blurry in commentator view, and I just don't see anything. But thank you, chat, for pointing out that I'm dumb.
It's okay, I'm dyslexic, so I just miss stuff. The eyes are willing, the brain's not there.
Why do they let us commentate
I
together
don't
again,
know.
Dark Moon?
Because we're funny? I think that's what it
I
is.
guess. I think it's just our humorous back and forth. Okay. So yeah, fryteeth's gonna go kill this Kraken, and hopefully pick up some cash on the way to clear out the caravan. Then he just needs to go talk to some beat boops, and then he just got to figure out what he's doing for his last row.
He has to speak in a complicated series of beeps and whistles.
Also, yeah.
I mean, actually, it's like with the Lufenish. We say that you have to talk to the robots. You don't actually have to understand what they're saying. Am I hurting your brain now?
A little bit.
Yeah, it's hard to know what row fryteeth is going to go for because he's kind of half-filled on a lot of them at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My gut is telling me he's going to just do top left, bottom right. Like, that's... Getting down to carry floor is an inexpensive use of time. It's not hard to fish for either sandworms or just worms.
I mean, the only thing is that I think it's even less intensive at this point to just go visit Marsh 3 and to visit Bahamut.
Yeah, except it's Marsh 3.
You're level 20 at this point. It's just Marsh 3. Okay.
Do you know what happens to people who say it's just Marsh 3?
You don't even have to walk out. Just get down there. Go visit the rooms and then reset. That's it. Oh, there's a sandworm.
Alright. Yeah, I think at this point
He's going for it, yeah.
Yeah, the fact that he fished for an encounter outside of Mirage, he's going for the worms. So
did he not get the kill? He was taking some steps there. That was weird.
I think that he forgot where he was hit that encounter, and then muscle memory kicked in before he realized, oh right, I'm here, not there.
See, now if I'm level 6, I'm not going to Marsh. If I'm level 20, I'm going to Marsh, because whatever.
You do know that the gods punish hubris most of all, right, Dark Moon?
I'm already out of this tournament.
Well, then you definitely understand the effects of hubris. Alright, so he's gonna hit the robot on this floor. Okay, he's just gonna go up to, oh! Well, the sandworm was on the blue dragon tile anyway.
So we got a question about whether or not you have to kill Chaos to win the game, or just do the bingos. You have to do the bingos and then kill Chaos in that order to win the game. If you don't get your bingos, you can't kill Chaos because it doesn't count. And if you don't kill Chaos after getting your bingos, it doesn't count. Gotta do both.
Yeah.
And it is dab, which if you don't know what that means, is double anti-bingo. That means you've got to do one row selected for you by the other player. So DVS selected for fryteeth row 5, and fryteeth selected for DVS row 3, which is why we have the poker chips there, marking off their spots. And then you also have to do a second one of your own choosing that you can choose at any time you want. And that is how you get the double, the anti being the one chosen by the other player.
Yeah, so fryteeth doing a little bit of looting here in Sky. I don't hate the play, actually. So he's going to check what this incentive is, because he is still looking for his loot, and he fishes up a rod. Ooh, but that is not good news for DVS.
Well, we know he has to come in here now to do this, and he can't skip that incentive chest.
Well, he had to come up here to do this anyway, because he still has to look at the computers, but... fryteeth, meanwhile, trying to remember where the robot is on Sky 3.
Or is just looting everything because they're still looking for some gear.
Well, he was running back and forth for a
Hey!
minute, so...
Defense
Well, hey, the
sword.
defense sword.
Not gonna complain about that.
Yeah. Sure, he can't equip it because it's not a cursed weapon, but he also doesn't have any... Well, no, he does have someone who could equip it.
Yeah,
He's
the
not
white
going to
mage.
equip it anyway, because he's just going to toss it into his black belt's inventory and cast it.
Did he get his 3 robots? I don't think he got his 3 robots.
Well, he hasn't marked that he's gotten his 3 robots.
No, and it would have lit up before we actually saw him do it because the board's actually a little ahead of the players.
Okay. He definitely talked to the... Okay, he's going for the Robot
There you
Mirage
go.
1 now.
He remembered the 3rd one that you remembered, and I didn't even know existed. And, well, God, these enemies do not want to let him go. It's okay, if you die, you can just come back, it's fine. Just annoying, because you were almost there.
Yeah.
Here you go, now you're good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did he, did he save with that, I have?
What? I'm sorry, you broke up a little there.
Oh, also, he's got some delicious steak. I said, did he... I'm guessing you still can't hear me.
No, you're like, I said... and then you were just gone. And no one could see me, but I just hung my head in shame over it. Oh, wow. Like, the game, the internet does not like you today. So, we're over here at Earth Cave now, and going to try again against these Gurmedusas. But this ambushy river tile does not want to let you have any fun at all.
Alright, we do at least know where our loot is now. Sarda had it.
Sarda! Yeah, these are very ambushy Gurmedusas, and they have the punching power of, like... That is a heavyweight champ boxer right there. That is gross. Yeah, this is a no-win situation, fryteeth. Hey, he got one! He got one! Woo! Now, do you risk another one or do you warp? Oh yeah, fryteeth can't take the down to up well.
Why so?
Because he has a blessed silver bracelet equipped.
Okay. Well, then...
So it's got to be the up to down then.
Yeah, that's what I've been...
Oh,
Have I
I'm
been
sorry.
pointing out every time I'm pointing out that
No,
he's
I'm
probably
just
doing
dumb,
top left
that's
to bottom
all.
right?
I'm just dumb,
Okay.
that's all. It's fine. But he's locked out of it, Woat, okay?
Yeah, he was also locked out of meleeing the pirates, and we see how much that's hampered him.
I like how sassy you just got there.
Well, you were the one who was clutching his pearls within 10 minutes of the game because someone was just like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
I was
column or row."
irritated. What if you never know?
Again, he wasn't going to do row 3 because if row 3 appealed to him, he's not going to make his opponent do it.
You never know when column 4 might seem appealing. You don't throw the chance away. Oh wow. Anyway. So DVS is down here. He doesn't have the rod. He's checking what the vampire may have in his secret stash. I don't actually know if we've seen what the
so
vampire...
I'm sure that you got
Crystal.
2 words of B.
I caught part of that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the point I was trying to make is Column 4 has defeat Tiamat with Bane. You're not doing that unless your opponent makes you do that.
More than likely, that one is wretched. That's the worst of the cast spells on enemy slots. That one is awful. Because even, like, at least with the carry one, if you you can find a wizard staff or something, and if you happen to get confused, you can just reset out. But, like, the Bane, you have to get that. There's no, like, half measures with it. Well, he is managing to live now with that little bit of armor he put on. The Gurmedusas are not surviving nearly as well as they used to. And he's out. Mid-20s was apparently all he cared about. He is now moving on. But fryteeth is definitely, as far as ability to complete tiles and zones, is in a commanding lead at this point because of that floater. As chat pointing out, with Bane Tiamat, you win or you die. I think that's basically it. Because if you reset, that's basically a death. I think I hear you over there, Woat. How's it going? Okay, so we got Quake there, we got Temper, we got DVS buying spells, trying to figure out what he wants to do next. Crystal in hand, we know he is going to eventually get himself to the Oxyale, which would put him under the sea, which presumably isn't anything he cares about, so all that is going to be free experience for him. Not the best. DVS in a tough spot, and I hate to say it for one of my co-op partners, because I want to see him succeed. fryteeth went down to the bottom of Volcano and is walking back out, and I didn't see what they were doing down there. I missed it and don't see anything lit. So if they were going for visit every room of Carry 1, they didn't do it. Oh, got the bottle. Okay. But didn't try and light the Carry 1 floors, which is curious, to say the least.
So, anyway, my internet just,
Crapped out?
strobed,
Yeah.
I think that's the term to describe it. But I'm back now, and I can hear you clearly.
Yay! Look at that!
Which leads me to conclude that my brother must have just reset the router.
that would make a certain amount of sense. Just got tired and was like, no more. So yeah, I don't know if you caught that, because your internet went down for a second there. fryteeth went down to the bottom of Volcano, got the bottle out of it, did not do the carry floors, or carry rooms, though, which is a curious choice, to say the least.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. See? Melee the Pirate's starting to look better and better, but that option is not available now.
Still not looking better. There's like 8 other options he still has available.
Well, it's not good now.
Involve killing Tiamat.
It's not good now. He can't do it. He locked himself out.
I'm just trying to Oh, he's looking for the loot.
Yeah, but I mean, I totally get that. He's got to have it. He's got the tail. Woo! Hey, you know what's back on the board? Vomit Marsh!
Mm-hmm.
That might be his plan all along. So, but it's weird, because as you pointed out, he did go searching for those worms. I mean, you could do carry floor and then go into Topher and just immediately get the worms and, like, not even stress about it. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, he, like I said, I think he probably was taking the view of, I need to find this loot before I worry about finishing up my bingo board, because I'm gonna need that no matter what.
I'd critique, but again, I'm not in this tournament anymore, and both of them still are.
Well, if he goes to Marsh, we'll know that your gut was right, but it looks like what we are instead doing is going to go punch some zombie dragons until our eyes bleed.
Well, yeah, he's still... I'm sure even if it's not required, he still wants to get 30, 32, whatever it is he's looking for. There's all 3 robots for DVS. And now he's playing IT.
Mm-hmm. And now he is getting the heck out of Dodge.
He got all of that taken care of. Doesn't need to deal with Tiamat and Bane, because he doesn't care. Does want to try and walk all of this out, though, which is understandable.
Mm-hmm. So I think at this point, DVS is going for column 1.
So we got a question in chat about Mitochondrio, asking about the steel drum one of the characters just found. That would be our loot. We have a special fun percent flag on called Multi-Instrumentalist Sarah, which replaces the loot, with one of any number of other instruments that we could come up with, the only one not on that list being the chime, because it's already an item in the game. Hey, sandworms! You didn't even have to grind for them if you didn't want to, they're right here. And actually...
Oh yeah, I must have been crapping out when I pointed that out earlier.
I just didn't notice them there, and honestly, that's a tile I'd take over those Gerbaduses. That's tasty.
And it looks like DVS is at least taking your thoughts on the matter.
Yeah! They're going down to 2 punches. That is easy. I mean, the only downside of these is that after you get these levels, if you don't have the warp charges, you kind of have to, run out.
So, Reese Wolf in chat pointing out that the loot is always in all caps.
Mm-hmm.
So is the chime.
Yeah,
all the key items are in all caps.
Yeah, any key item is still in all caps, so even if the loot was replaced by the chime, it would still be all caps.
I mean, granted, you could have just two... I feel like the comedic enjoyment we would get out of that would not be worth the runner's irritation.
Yeah. Which chime did I get? No, thank you. Which other randomizer am I going to play? Because that's too far.
I mean, okay, here's the thing. By the time you... unless you have gotten a jet seed where you never see the floater, it is very easy to figure out if you have the chime that opens Mirage Tower or the Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Okay, so here's a curious one for you. fryteeth has lit the copper, silver, and gold bracelet tile. That puts him on call 1. But he'd have to go Bracken the Kraken to finish that.
Well, he's gotta go Bracken the Kraken. That's his forced row.
I'm sorry, not DVS, fryteeth.
Oh, you're right. Huh. Well, he's gotta go kill Kraken 1 anyway, so... maybe he's just thinking, he's gotta go do Kraken 1s, so at that point, he might as well just bracket.
Yeah, I mean, if he has to go kill Kraken 1 anyway, that makes sense. 2 birds, 1 stone. Just, it's curious, just in case the bracking doesn't go well. Now, here's the downside of those sandworms. They basically don't want to punch because they want to cast their spells on themselves. And if you put someone up front to try and encourage them to punch them, they just run away. Because they have no morale this time around. Okay, DVS continuing to do his turn-ins, gonna discover that the crystal leads to the Oxyale, which really doesn't help him at all unless he Oh, no, it does help him. He does need to go Kraken. I am really bad at reading this bingo board some days, I tell ya.
You know, I'm suddenly starting to figure out how you got knocked out of the tournament so early.
I'm really good when I'm playing. I'm really bad when I'm commentating, apparently. Both of the matches I lost were actually really close, so...
I'm sure, Dark Moon, I'm sure.
Go watch the YouTube, damn it!
So fryteeth now has a level 41 black belt.
Oh, I got a question in chat where the floater was at. That was at Ordeals. DVS coming over here to try and take out the Kraken on his terms, not on Kraken's terms.
I mean, the nice thing about being Swirl at this point, if you're fryteeth, is that, like...
fryteeth's in a great position, yeah.
Yeah, you just kind of stick that white mage in your second slot.
Yeah.
Put your black belt up front.
Yeah.
And let the Kraken fail to kill your black belt while your black mages just throw Brax at it until something works.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, if he doesn't get that tile, the defeat Kraken with Brack, he can just be like, F it, punch the Kraken down and then go find a different tile to do, because he's got, like, 4 or 5 others that are within easy reach, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can go meet Bahamut and do the Marsh play that you've been begging him to do.
Yes, go do Marsh.
Some sadistic reason.
It's easy, it's right on the path!
Carry one floor is a 2-minute diversion to go do.
Yep.
And he's already got half of that worm tile, so...
Yep.
Yeah, worst case scenario, he can just kill the Kraken, be done with it, and, you know, there is always the option of trying to Brack Kraken too.
Oh god, that's wretched. I've had to do that before when I couldn't get Quake to land on Lich 1, and I just had to go try it out on Lich 2. It works, but it's not as easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, that is the thing to keep in mind. All these defeat X with Y, that's either version of the boss.
Yep. It does not specify.
And hey, we have seen the Kraken 2 get Bracken to Dream before.
We have seen instant deaths on every single one of the feats before. It can happen, and we generally tend to cheer when it does happen because it's amazing.
Yeah, no, my first seed I ever played with item magic shuffle on, I got a Quake Staff. And got to Chaos, and one of my characters, I think my white mage, was just like, well, I don't have anything better to do with this character. Or it might have been my black mage. So I just threw out the Quake Staff, killed him first turn.
Nice!
Still one of my most satisfying moments in Final Fantasy Randomizer.
Heck yeah!
I just wish I'd been recording. So, DVS... immediately starting to throw invises onto that black mage.
Well, yeah, I mean, the one that Kraken's not playing around. The one you have to worry about is that black mage. Or not.
And...
Okay.
Oh, wow! Free Enterprise, thank you for the raid, with a group of 71.
Hello and welcome to the party. You guys play Final Fantasy IV? This is Final Fantasy I. We're both randomizers. It's great.
So we have... Go ahead.
I was going to say, first round against Kraken did not go well. We will be trying again momentarily. For anyone new to the party, we are doing Final Fantasy Randomizer's Winter Dab Tournament. fryteeth is stuck doing row 5. DVS is stuck doing row 3. They gotta do 2 rows to finish the game, and then go fight Chaos after. And both of them are getting there, I guess is the way I'd put it.
Both of them are currently dealing with the fact that sometimes statistics just hates you.
Yeah, it's just 25% of the time it works none of the time.
Well, there it finally worked. And I think it was what it was the 6th or 7th brack that fryteeth threw out that finally landed that 25% chance.
Gotta start getting those life 2s out from that thief. I love Florst classes.
Yeah, so for those of you who have played Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise but have not played Final Fantasy I Randomizer recently, one of our new features is class blursing, where classes get certain bonus abilities and also can achieve certain negative qualities. For example, in this seed, thieves just cast like white mages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just that's basically what it is. Just like white mages. So, as pointed out, oh my god, DVS wiped again. Oh, that Kraken. As chat pointed out, DVS has got to be spooked now because he does not have a line lit yet, and fryteeth just set up the double light. So fryteeth is good to go whenever they're done with their grind.
Well, fryteeth is done with his grind. He's got a level 42 black belt.
Oh, well, there you go then. I missed the part where he got to 42. So,
well, technically he got to 41 and then leveled to 42 on the way down to Kraken.
Close enough. That's the power of the black belt. The black belt is just like punch mage go brrr.
Yeah. And yeah, that is a good point. DVS did wind up doing the row he forced on fryteeth, which may be a function of what fryteeth forced him to do. Like, if you're going ahead and climbing to Sky 3, you're doing that robot tile, and everything else has kind of fell into place for him.
I mean, he'll have that row the second he is actually able to kill Kraken, but as of right now, he has not done it, so technically still does not have a row lit.
Yeah, but yeah. I think the point is more like he's going for that.
Oh, yeah, I get you. But, like, I was technically correct, which is all I care about.
Yeah. But yeah, it's one of those things, like, he probably, like, if he hadn't been forced to do row 3, I don't know if he would have done row 5 over a different row. But being forced to do row 3, he's already doing all of the annoying squares in row 5 and all of the free squares.
Yeah.
Like, that's nothing.
Yeah. And I, like, if I'm him, as soon as I get that row lit, I'm going to Topher immediately if I don't have to worry about my grind first. And I might even just use Topher to do part of my grind. He's already gotten sandwiches out of the way, so he just needs to do a worm. Worms are down there. Worms are on a couple different floors. And then he's got a Quake Lich. As long as he has Quake under his belt, just go try and Quake Lich too.
Yeah, not the worst plan.
Yep. And this is not to say that fryteeth has this sewn up. Like my last race, I had a carry that was triple nuclear, followed up by, I think Chaos was double nuke with, like, some other spell that was just awful, and he was just rotating right through it. The point is that, even with as kind as these flags are for a black belt, there is nothing saying that the bosses in the Temple of Fiends can't be hideous.
Also, we forgot that Germaduses exist on Earth.
I know, right?
Encounters.
The ambush the ambush Germaduses that are basically all black belts.
Also, that Cure 2 on level 2 white magic actually getting a workout.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's Lich. He's going to die in about now. Well, okay, if turn order had cooperated.
Speaking of dying right now, that was the black belt just falling over. And the DVS is... Oh, yeah. DVS has got to feel tilted right now.
I'm feeling tilted for him.
Yeah.
I'm not even running the stupid seed and I'm tilted.
Oh, my God.
A quick question from chat. What are the bingo rules? Basically, you have to complete 2 lines of objectives. One of those objectives is forced on you by your opponent. The other is your free choice. After completing both of your objectives, you have to kill Chaos. Or both of your lines of objectives, you have to kill Chaos.
And if you're curious about the specific definitions for any of these tiles specifically, we do have a complete note, pastebin note pad set up that has every single tile written out, so you can tell all the rules about them. If you're interested in seeing that, and as well as joining the community, you can go over to FinalFantasyRandomizer.com, check out the community Discord there from a link, and then we have them posted in the Winter Dad channel. So while that's been going on for DVS and his struggle is real, fryteeth is all the way down to Kraken so far. Has been fasted, is punching 2,000 damage. That Kraken is like tenderized sashimi right now.
Yeah. Chat speculating on what will stop fryteeth's advance at this point. I think the only thing that stops him is a 1 in 128 instant kill on the black belt.
Yeah.
Before it can kill the.
Yeah, because that was an instant
Chaos.
punch on Tiamat. Tiamat fell over. Like, Chaos could instantly kill. Chaos could be basically max evade and it could slow things down. And if Chaos is like max evade and gets perfect nuke rolls off of its rolling, then there's a chance that it could take everything out. But like, it's really low. Really low.
So, for folks who are wondering, wow, that black belt seems absurdly powerful.
Yes.
That's because of how Final Fantasy 1 works.
Yes.
But we'll explain that after Chaos dies.
Swirl comes out, does not kill anyone, does not do much. Practically chip damage. A Fade comes out for 250. That was some nice damage right there. Double Fast, just in case. Paunch, 17 hits for 1,300 damage. One more of those, and this Chaos will already be dead. Temper, just for good measure. Paunch, 17 hits. Oh, only 1,200-ish at that point. Still, he's probably on his knees. I would say he probably has maybe a couple hundred health left.
Yeah,
Wait,
at
punch.
most has a couple hundred.
And 1,400 damage. Chaos is dead. That is going to finish up that side of the match. And, understandably, DVS has forfeited.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't blame him for that. He did not have a good time there.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate situation.
Yeah. Great strategy on fryteeth's part. Cannot blame them at all for that. Really sucked for DVS.
Yeah. And speaking of DVS, I believe he has joined us here in the chat. DVS, GG, that Kraken gave you the business.
Don't even ask. I mean,
that was wrecked.
That was the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was physically painful.
Yeah.
So, especially since. Yeah, I mean, it was bad from the beginning, and then those 4 dives, and then seeing fryteeth already finish that. It was just like, okay, I literally had my cursor over forfeit for the last 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh yeah, no, I would. That's one of those situations. I mean, you and I have raced before together since we're co-op partners. That's one of those situations where you and I are in the booth just talking to each other, going, "Are they gonna finish this so we can just forfeit? Because that's all I want now."
Yeah, it was absolutely the worst seed run I played in probably a couple months. So.
Meanwhile,
fryteeth?
Yes, fryteeth is here. GG's fryteeth on your win.
And at some point, fryteeth will figure out how to communicate to us, possibly via semaphore. But yeah, no, I mean,
were we kind of in the same place besides the Kraken kill? I mean, he had level 30 already, but I don't know how high he went up to.
For a while there, you guys were keeping up as far as tiles were concerned, but he had the floater at least a half an hour before you did, and that was...
Oh, no, yeah. I never had the floater.
Well, there you go.
You can't have a floater a half an hour ahead of time, and you don't have something.
Well, I mean, if you'd gone and finished it at some point, you would have had it.
No, it was... again, by far the worst performance I've done in probably my entire time.
There you go.
Yep.
Hey, fryteeth.
Bye. So, GG to you, fryteeth. So...
Yeah, GG's fryteeth. I'm gonna bitch and moan, but you definitely deserve the W.
All right, so I guess the question I like to ask at the beginning of any of these post-race interviews with the DAB, what prompted y'all to pick the rows you did? Either one of you can go first.
The row that we picked for
For your
For the other
opponent.
opponent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why'd you force the row you forced?
For me, it's having to defeat two fiends with spells. You never know where those spells are gonna roll. So I know as I was going up, as I was looking at spells up to like level 5, and I didn't see Quake, I was getting happier with that decision. But yeah, it was those two squares.
Okay. And DVS, what about you?
Somewhat similar. It was between those two rows for me. Both of them had to go to Sky. Both of them had to kill Kraken. But having to see a poison attack can be very difficult. And caking Lich is really not that big of a deal. The worms are already going to probably show up in Topher at some point, and you have enough places with sandworms that that's not an issue. It just so happens that Chime and Cube were the first two items that you picked up. So that kind of... And the poison came pretty early. So...
Yeah. So you will probably find this after you go back and rewatch the VOD, but there are actually 3 robots in Mirage.
In Mirage?
Yeah, they're in Mirage.
Oh, no, yeah, I know. I know there's the one on first floor. I had to go to the 3rd floor anyway, and the one in first floor Mirage is more out of the way than floors 2 and 3 or the Sky 3 robot.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it is one of those things where you just need the chime in order to get that square cleared.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So.
Were it not for the computers.
Yeah, more salt. But
yeah,
actually, if it's any consolation, as soon as he gave me my row, I was like, oh crap, I should have done that for him. But it honestly wouldn't have mattered. So.
Well, it's one of those things. Really, you just had some hard luck with Kraken refusing to be bracked and just going headhunting for your black mages. Like, fryteeth,
yeah, I mean,
you almost had some hard times with that Kraken even after you did your grind.
First time I went down, I think I got 4 or 5 bracks off and didn't kill him. And that second time, I think it was the 7th brack that got him.
Yep. Sure. 25% of the time. Thanks, Kraken.
Look, it's Kraken. Anything he can do to make you unhappy as a runner, he will do. Is it killing your white mage? Your white mage dies. Is it refusing to die when he should die? He'll refuse to die when he should die. Is it having nuclear? Okay. Kraken life, yo.
That brack hadn't gone off. I was just going to have the black belt punch him out and then go finish row 1.
Hey, that's the one I was calling. Look at that. Vindicated.
Yeah, see, I was figuring that if you just decided to punch out the Kraken, you were just going to do top left, bottom right.
Okay,
I could have done that, but that top row was really easy also.
Yeah, I guess the one that we had when we were watching you, and you'll hear it when you go back, is you were on the carry floor to get that one chest, and it's like, why didn't you just finish up the chests while you were there? So.
Planning on searching for another worm if I didn't have to. I know I'd taken one out at some point. I was just really kicking myself for going and doing ice and volcano, and then I look down at my list of locations and realize I haven't been to Sarda yet.
I've been there.
Yeah. Look, I always forget Sarda as soon as I get the airship. It's just like, I can go everywhere. Should you go get the free item that's in that cave that's right there? No. Why would I do that?
Times out of 10, that's the first place I go when I get the airship.
That's stupid. But yeah, you two put on a very entertaining race for everyone. With, a dead sea's worth of salt.
Sorry.
No, that
just,
was meant
that's
to
just
make
from
you
me.
laugh,
That's just from me.
DVS. No, that was my attempt to make you laugh. I know how it feels when you
Way to
do
go, Will.
everything
You did a
when,
good job.
when you do everything right, and then Lich 2 has nuke, and your opponent quacks him first turn, and you're stuck ramming your head
Yeah.
into nuke Lich 5 times in a row.
Yeah.
And I'm not bitter about that. It's only been 2 years.
Well, the other thing is those Burmaduces, like the first, like, and it always happens with the big packs where you get the first time you face them, you don't like nothing happens, you wipe them all out, you gain literally 8 levels, and then you fight the second pack and they ambush you, and you're like, well, I mean, ambushes are low probability, right? So you do it again and they ambush you, and then you do it again and they ambush you, and then you do it again and they ambush you, and then eventually you realize that that's what the rest of the seed's going to look like. But
Yeah.
yeah, if that went differently, yeah, if that was even remotely successful, I probably would have been okay. But
Yeah, so
from that moment on, I knew that I was going to lose, so it's just a
so
matter of time.
that was the other difference maker. DVS, did you check the grind tiles in Northwest Castle?
I knew you were going to ask me that question, and I specifically did not check them because I had found the Gurmadusa tile, and I was just going to come back later.
It was the side B zombie D tile.
That would
That's
do
how.
it.
That's where fryteeth got his experience from. Was he just because they went down to I think a single harm 4 or like a harm 4 plus a fire 2.
hmm
Yeah.
So
I mean, the I mean, I just made bad decisions, had my usual luck,
yeah.
which is bad.
Well, you did both throw yourselves into the teeth of the Gurmadusas several times
Yeah.
because because like you said, if you can kill one of those packs, that is delicious experience.
Yeah. I mean, I went from what, like 18 to 30, in those last like 2 or 3 minutes there.
Yeah.
So it just was like I mean, there was also the metal slimes in Waterfall, but like again at that point it was just kind of watching the clock. So
Yeah. But, it's still one of those things like for as much bad luck as you had, you did fantastically, and don't laugh.
I'm just
Don't
laughing.
laugh.
No. The reason I'm laughing is is I actually agree with you. It's like because I kept running into barriers, but then I changed my strategy and progressed.
Yeah. No, like
Where usually I just like bash my head against something over and over and over again.
yeah, and
So it
that's
was just like, yeah.
yeah,
Sorry, go ahead, Wout.
no,
I'll let you talk.
yeah, that's a lot of what bingo cards come down to a lot of the times is that okay, I'm hitting a brick wall here. Can I route around the damage and keep moving?
hmm
And yeah, you both did a really solid job of like you hit something. If you bounced off a little bit, okay, reroute, try something else. Darkmoon only yells a little bit about whether or not you should have meleeed the pirates.
just in
Fryteeth.
just in case.
Yeah, I was never doing either of the lines with Melee the Pirates, so.
And that's what I kept telling him.
No.
I did the Garland boxing because that column 2 was also a possibility, but
Yeah, no, that Garland boxing was situated in a really good line. In like 3 really good lines, all things considered. Okay, maybe not row 2, but it's one of those things, if you were going to do row 2, at least the 2 worst squares had something vaguely resembling synergy. Anyway, though, we should probably go ahead and start wrapping up, don't you think, DM?
I'm okay with that.
So,
Okay.
Right, DVS?
Yes. Final thoughts.
GG's to Fryteeth. I mean, you know your stuff. One of these days we'll do a somehow figure out a joint Final Fantasy Z1 run. You'll probably beat me in both sides of it, but it'll be fun, be entertaining. Yeah, and good luck against Greg. He's on a roll.
He is.
So.
Yeah.
It should be a good watch.
All right, fryteeth, anything you want to add in?
Yeah, GG to DVS, and I watched part of that your first Z1 race, and that was pretty impressive to finish those back-to-back seeds that night.
Thanks, man.
And just thanks to Dark Moon and Walt for the comms, and Chanigan for the tracking, and Dark Moon for the restream.
And thanks to RPG Limit Break for having us. And thanks again to the Free Enterprise folks for dropping in for the end of that. And if anyone was watching this, was like, this looks unnecessarily complicated and terrifying.
Heck
I
yeah.
want in.
Yes.
Feel free to join us, because we have now 3 different weekly happenings that is literally just, hey, I like to suffer. I would like to beat other people who like to suffer, so that someday I may be the champion of suffering.
You make it sound worse than it is. If you're interested in what we have going on at the community, we do invite you to come check out FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. You can find links to the Discord and development Discord there, along with the randomizer itself, so you can play around, see everything that's available, and test out all that is Final Fantasy Randomizer. While you're there, if you come over to the community Discord, we do host our Duckling Pond. That is our new player area where we teach you how to play the game, help guide you through the process, and then we will be going into spring tournament right now, which you are welcome to come join up for and play in. There's some talk about doing a side table for anyone who doesn't make it into the tournament, but even if that doesn't happen, by May we will start up our Duckling Boot Camp, where we'll do 8 weeks of weekly videos where we will show you how to play the game through various flag sets, and then post those flags as well for you to play through a different version just to see how the game feels and how to learn the game itself. And then, by, I believe, end of June, we will have the Summer Duck Derby starting up, where you and your other fellow new players can dive into the bond and get your little flippers wet in a live tournament setting. So please do come and join up with us and see all that Final Fantasy Randomizer has to offer. It's not all pain and hellfire like Woot says it is, although if you want to play it that way, we can totally tell you how to do that too.
Oh yeah, no, I will happily help you design some flags that are pain and suffering. Anytime, anywhere. You ping me in the Discord, and I will happily give you some WOT flags.
You'll materialize out from the shadows like the Shadow. Who knows?
Oh, yeah, no, I sense when people are just like, I'd like to try something painful.
Who knows what pain and suffering lurks in the heart of Final Fantasy Randomizer? WOT does.
Most of us do. Is there any most of us at least occasionally enjoy playing flags that are just like, I'm here to make you prove how good you are at this game.
I'm not sure I
feel like if you guys keep talking, we're gonna lose people from the Discord. It just makes it sound so wonderful.
Okay,
anyway,
being a hardcore runner myself, who regularly does those 3-hour slogs. I am. You are speaking to me right now, so I appreciate that.
Anyway, let's wrap this up. What, you got anything else?
No. Take us home, DM.
Alrighty, I've already mentioned Final Fantasy Randomizer. We will have our weekly starting up again, I do believe, next week. Right now, we are just playing through on the Winter Dab tournament. So that'll be going on for another week, and then we will get our weekly starting back up very soon near the end of this tournament, as we have time available. But until then, please keep watching the Winter Dab tournament from FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. I am DarkMoonEX, joined in the booth by Wout, with Chanigan doing tracking in the background. Hope you enjoyed this presentation of Final Fantasy Randomizer, and we will see you next time.